President Sisi attends the graduation of the second Imam qualification course at Al Manara Conference Center. Egypt's foreign minister reaffirms Cairo's full support for Lebanon and condemns Israeli strikes. And the IMF projects Egypt's GDP growth at 3.8% in 2025 and 4.4% in 2026. You're watching Q News, and these are the news from Egypt. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi attended the graduation ceremony of the second Imam qualification course at Al Manara International Conference Center. In his address, the President emphasized the importance of the initiative in promoting enlightened religious discourse and confronting extremist ideologies. The 24-week program trained 550 imams and was implemented by the Ministry of Endowments in cooperation with the Egyptian Military Academy. It aims to equip religious leaders with both deep theological knowledge and effective communication skills to engage with the modern society. A Hamas official told Agence France Presse that a delegation from the group has left Doha and is heading to Cairo. The visit comes amid efforts to explore new proposals aimed at reaching a ceasefire in Gaza. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati has reaffirmed Cairo's full support for Lebanon and its state institutions, condemning Israeli strikes on civilians and demanding a complete Israeli withdrawal from occupied areas in southern Lebanon. He stressed on the need to uphold the ceasefire agreement and warned against any renewed escalation. Abdulati also conveyed President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's invitation to the Lebanese president for an official visit, underscoring shared efforts to strengthen bilateral relations. On Gaza, Abdulati confirmed that Egypt, Qatar and the United States continue to push for a ceasefire. He added that Egypt is working with the United Nations to host a conference in Cairo to begin reconstruction efforts once a truce is in place. He also Israeli attacks in Syria, criticized double standards in international policy, and outlined Arab Islamic plans to engage European partners in rebuilding Gaza. Lebanese Foreign Minister Youssef Raji has praised Egypt's comprehensive support for Lebanon, particularly its diplomatic efforts to end Israeli aggression. He emphasized Lebanon's reliance on Egypt to ensure security and stability both in Lebanon and across the region. Raji described the Beirut port explosion as a major national disaster and reiterated Lebanon's strain in hosting 1.5 million Syrian refugees. He called on the international community to adopt a new approach to assist displaced persons. Raji also reaffirmed Lebanon's unwavering support for Egypt's policy regarding the Gaza crisis and reiterated Lebanon's stance that weapons should be limited to legitimate Lebanese forces, as stressed by Lebanese President Joseph Aoun. Al-Azhar al-Sharif is preparing to take part in the funeral of Pope Francis with a high-level delegation, following the pontiff's passing on Monday, April 21st. The Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, Dr. Ahmad al-Tayyib, paid tribute to Pope Francis, describing him as a symbol of humanity, peace, and interfaith understanding. The funeral scheduled for Saturday in St. Peter's Square, where global leaders are expected to attend the ceremony. The U.S. Embassy in Cairo has shared breathtaking nighttime images of the city captured by astronauts aboard the International Space Station. The photos highlight Cairo's growth, with visible clusters of light tracing the Nile and satellite cities like New Cairo and the 6th of October. The embassy noted that such images not only inspire but also provide valuable insights into urban expansion, energy usage, and infrastructure needs. The post emphasized the potential for Egypt and the U.S. to collaborate through space science for mutual prosperity. Egypt has marked World Earth Day 2025 under the theme Our Power, Our Planet, joining global efforts to promote renewable energy and triple clean electricity generation by 2030. To mark the 55th anniversary of Earth Day, the Egyptian Ministry of Environment announced a series of activities to commemorate the 2025 event. The ministry also detailed plans to host a variety of seminars and technical workshops at schools, universities, and cultural centers, and launch cleanup campaigns and tree planting drives. These initiatives promote environmental awareness and foster sustainable practices throughout society. Egypt's Minister of Housing, Engineer Sharif al-Shourbaghi, has met Chairman of the China State Construction Engineer Corporation, Mr. Cheng Zhangjuan, in Beijing to discuss key joint projects, including the Central Business District in the new administrative capital and downtown towers in New Alamein City. The meeting highlighted the progress of these projects and explored ways to enhance cooperation between Egypt and China. Shourbaghi praised the cooperation's role in Egypt's development and expressed commitment to completing the projects on time. He also proposed a partnership with contractors to execute additional projects, particularly in Africa. Both sides reaffirmed their commitment to ensuring the success of these strategic projects, crucial to Egypt's development goals. Minister of Agriculture Ala Farouk is in Tunis to chair the 31st session of the Board of Directors of the Sahara and Sahel Observatory. The observatory focused on sustainable development and combating desertification in Africa is a key platform for North-South cooperation. Farouk will meet with regional ministers to discuss joint efforts in agriculture and food security. The Egyptian Ministry of Health and Population has revealed the number of women receiving reproductive health services reaching 3.8 million last year. The ministry noted a decline in the total fertility rate from 2.85 in 2021 to 2.54 in 2023. Head of the population sector, Hossam Abbas, noted that a variety of long-acting methods are available, providing women with diverse and effective long-term options. Abbas stated that by expanding access to these essential services, individuals and couples are able to maintain their reproductive health, which contributes to improving maternal and child health as well as overall well-being. Minister of Higher Education Dr. Ayman Ashur announced major investments in Sinai and the Suez Canal region, totaling 23 billion Egyptian pounds as part of Egypt's Vision 2030 development strategy. He confirmed that the state is prioritizing education, with ongoing projects to establish new faculties, labs, and workshops aimed at long-term regional development. Deputy Minister of Health Dr. Abla Al-Alfi met with members of the Youth in Action Initiative to explore ways to involve young people in raising population awareness and encouraging healthy behaviors. Spokesperson Dr. Hussam Abdel Ghaffar said The Deputy Minister emphasized youth leadership, women's economic empowerment and the role of local industries. The strategy includes targeted interventions in 70 areas, with a focus on the Golden 1000 Days initiative to improve maternal and child health through education on birth spacing and family planning. The National Council for Human Rights, in cooperation with the National Elections Authority, has launched a program to boost political awareness and enhance the role of civil society in election monitoring. At the launch event in Zamalek, Council President Ambassador Mushira Khattab highlighted the importance of transparency and public access to information, describing the partnership as a new phase in building trust between the state and the public. Deputy Minister of Health for Population and Family Development, Dr. Abdel Alfi, has stated that the ministry is working to support medical services and address any challenges with the aim of solving them and enhancing the workflow of the health system. Al-Alfi confirmed that the use of long-term family planning methods at the unit has increased to 60%. She noted the need to direct all prospective spouses to a counseling room before obtaining a health certificate to ensure they receive adequate information about reproductive health. She revealed the inaccuracy of recording breastfeeding data in medical record mechanisms to monitor absolute breastfeeding rates and direct mothers to specialized counseling, especially in cases of anemia or malnutrition. The latest World Economic Outlook by the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, projects Egypt's real GDP growth at 3.8% in 2025, rising to 4.4% in 2026. The report also forecasts a decline in consumer price inflation, expected to reach 19.7% in 2025 and drop further to 13.5% in 2026, signaling a gradual economic recovery and improving stability. Egypt's Minister of Planning, Rania Mashad, has met with President of the International Finance Corporation, Mukhtar Dioupa, at the Spring Meetings 2025 to discuss enhancing the private sector participation in Egypt's development. Dr. Mashad and Mr. Dioupa discussed improving investment climate, focusing on Egypt's state ownership policy and airport privatization. Al-Mashad highlighted Egypt's shift to private sector-led growth through reforms, public-private partnerships, and a $2.4 billion IFC investment portfolio. Both sides agreed to deepen cooperation, expand EU investment guarantees, and attract foreign companies, with the IFC reaffirming its commitment to boosting private sector investments and supporting economic growth in Egypt. Egypt has recorded a total foreign trade volume of $32.24 billion in the first quarter of the 2024-2025 fiscal year. According to the Central Bank of Egypt, the trade activity consisted of $23.15 billion in imports and $9.09 billion in exports. The CBE's report also pointed out that trade with 14 key international partners made up about 68.3% of the overall figure, collectively reaching $22.03 billion. These trade relationships included $15.93 billion in imports and $6.09 billion in exports. Among Egypt's top trading partners, the United States ranked first during the period. Bilateral trade between the two countries stood at $3.04 billion, with Egyptian imports from the U.S. totaling $1.92 billion and exports to the U.S. reaching $1.13 billion. These are all the news we have for now, but here's a reminder of today's main Egyptian stories. President Sisi attends the graduation of the second Imam qualification course at Al Manara Conference Center. Egypt's foreign minister reaffirms Cairo's full support for Lebanon and condemns Israeli strikes. And the IMF projects Egypt's GDP growth at 3.8% in 2025 and 4.4% in 2026. These are all the Egyptian news we have for now, but please remember to stay updated by following Q News for the latest updates. I'm Hani Saif. Thank you for joining us.